Good.
This is the W2 report with Sanji Himura. Here's Sanji.
Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting episode of the W2 Report. I'm your host Sanji Himura. Today, we may end up in jail before the end of this video. But to explain why, we have to go over the ground rules with Lord Crocker Squirrel as always.
I'm not going to explain why. That's his job. Rule number 1, being up the dick. Rule number 2, if you have questions, please refer to rule number 1.
Alright, bringing up the rear as always, we have our third man in the ring, Mr. Lindgren.
Yeah, if I end up in jail, then I really messed up on covering my tracks.
Oh. Well, this image here serves two purposes today. First, we may be issuing a correction by the end of the video, and number two, it serves as today's meme because we may be giving a fresh perspective on the whole Schlep being banned for vigilantism thing, courtesy of Upper Echelon. But before we do, let us first go over where we got the video and our timestamps for today's usage of today's video today. Now, before we proceed any further, here is Upper Echelon. Gentlemen, you may feel free to tell me to stop when you have a point to raise.
Scroll social media right now. The overwhelming consensus, and there is a bit of a mob at the moment, is that Roblox is infested with inappropriate content and fails to moderate the platform properly. Depending on who you ask, it's anything from mildly concerning to flat out rage-worthy. So for the sake of a complete video, I decided, why don't I just go check for myself? Truth be told, I wasn't even expecting much, okay? I figured the prevalence of these issues would be wildly exaggerated for the sake of content and views by other YouTubers, and that I could maybe have a few small examples fairly easily for the sake of the video. But what I found was just completely insane. This is the tricky part. Since so much of this player base is under the age of 13, and because of how much of this content was consistently taking place, I don't have the patience or honestly the editing capabilities to censor each username, overhead message, and feed message individually as it moves across the screen. That combined with the fact that there are people with custom character skins to resemble giant, naked, hairy men chasing smaller avatars around constantly, or the rest of the issues that I would have to censor for the sake of YouTube's community guidelines, on top of the necessary safety precautions for whatever child accounts are present here, everything combined, I'm just going to censor the whole screen. Over the years, I've done a few similar types of videos, namely about TikTok, Google Photos, and other social media platforms, some of them with quite a high number of views and about rather disgusting groups of people. So I hope I've built enough credibility to be able to do this. But for right now, you as the audience have a pretty simple choice. You can either trust what I'm telling you, or you don't. That's it. If you don't want to trust me, that's fine, skip ahead. But if you are interested in trusting what I say, I spent roughly 9 minutes visiting 3 separate Roblox games, okay? Not even very much. Meep City, because people describe that as one of the more problematic ones on social media, which has 3.4 million votes, 16.2 billion visits, and is described as minimal content maturity on their page.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop right here because a couple of days after Schlep got banned, Meep City was removed from Roblox. Can anyone tell me why?
I have no idea.
Don't look at me.
It's because
Aside from-
it's because of this content right here that's being shown on the screen. Whether the developer removed whatever the developer removed it, or if it was Roblox themselves that removed it, is irrelevant at this point. What is relevant is that Roblox has a moderation and rating problem. They're a lot like Steam in a sense. They don't police their own content. They don't curate their content for age ratings. They trust the developer to rate it themselves, and if it's rated wrong, so be it. Anyway, let's continue.
Therapy, which has 95,000 votes, 152 million visits, and is described as moderate content maturity. And then Bilberry City, 117,000 votes, 257 million plays, and all of these with thousands of concurrent players at the time. Just to be clear, I did not initially choose the more obvious ones, okay? Like Femboy Simulator, which is on the trending tab, by the way, and is all about just pumping yourself full of as much estrogen as possible, despite being categorized as minimal content mature.
I'm going to do something real quick, so bear with me for a minute. I'm actually going to go to Roblox's website while this next little bit plays, and we're going to have a look-see at the experiences of Roblox versus their expected age rating.
I spent less than 10 minutes, and during that time, I saw models designed to look like giant naked men, as I said. I witnessed people of unknown ages moving their communications off-platform, which is a TOS violation. I saw invitations for sexual roleplay. I witnessed sexual roleplay directly unfolding in the offices of the therapy game. I saw a detailed discussion of drugs, slang which I didn't even fully understand, but felt like coded language, which I am familiar with, unfortunately, and people routinely opening the discussion with how old they are, or suggesting, let's have fun, or go have fun, as soon as someone else did. I don't know what percentage of all that is actionable by Roblox as a company, but the idea that 40% or more of their user base is under the age of 13 is shocking, and when it comes to controversy, this is before we even get to the worst part. Because of these issues, which I would describe as demonstrably rampant, Roblox has a sort of community moderation effort taking place, where groups of users will attempt to find the most troubling offenders, groomers or predators, I mean, and take them down independently. These groups operate in such a way where they also monetize their social media content in a variety of ways and gain high viewership as a result. So it's a little bit complicated owing to the fact that they have a financial incentive behind finding bad actors in the first place, as well as making the videos even more salacious if possible. But that's a bit of an assault on their credibility, so I won't go that far. I'm just saying it's a complicated
Can you
situation.
stop it for a second? Yeah,
Go ahead. I'm about ready for it anyway.
Yeah, I have a note to say about the actions taking place, and it's part of it is a problem that Roblox itself is unable to solve. That being, a lot of kids are just flat out evil monkeys, and it's like they're doing the most offensive stuff they do just to get a rise out of people around them, and they think it's funny.
In other words, trolls in training.
Yeah, trolls in training. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, with those, it's like the giant, it's like the giant men au naturel. It's like, it's it could just as easily be someone who's just a kid who's trying to be offensive and shocking.
Yes, while that
Yeah.
is indeed true, it still doesn't excuse the other things
No, but it's like,
that Upper Echelon has seen in his 10 minutes of gameplay.
no, but it's
Now-
like just sort of a nuance. No, just part of the problem is cursed, and then it's being compounded by essentially the shadow people from the Pinocchio cartoon
Yeah,
that were abducting the kids.
yeah, I see the point.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna allow Upper Echelon to step aside for a minute, and we're gonna bring up this. This is the Roblox experiences that is on the list. Now I'm gonna check all devices for it a minute. Now, let's I think I'm gonna pick 3. And go with that. Now, let's view all up and coming. First off, I'm going to check the experience that Upper Echelon brought up, which is oh, that ain't it. Apparently it's been removed.
Okay, the most wholesome one I saw on there was 99 Nights with a Zombie Girl. That looked the most hopeful. But that was like a couple refreshes ago.
Where was it?
Or that was a couple refreshes ago. It's
Oh.
like just trying may as well try like Insane Elevator.
If you have
Or
any
build a track.
experience, yeah, if you have any experiences to suggest to me, let me know.
No, I don't have any experience with Roblox. I subscribe to a different strain of brain rot.
Ever cracked World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14?
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's let
Final
Upper
Fantasy
Echelon.
11, don't forget that one.
Yeah, let's let Upper Echelon finish his thoughts.
But I think the most important thing to consider is that this behavior isn't born from nothing. These community groups only exist because of the rampant problem. And in response to that, Roblox decided to ban the community members trying to help. Not just that, they also issued a cease and desist letter. Any YouTuber covering this kind of stuff over the years has become intimately familiar with what those are and how they work, right? Myself included. They issued a cease and desist letter to a YouTuber named Schlep, who participates in and helps organize these kinds of efforts, stating that he should immediately cease, quote, engaging in simulated child endangerment conversations, sharing or soliciting personally identifiable information, and directing users to move conversations off platform, end quote. This move immediately caused backlash, especially considering the fact that there are severe and consistent violations of their policies, which appear to go unpunished, as documented by the community for years. But even if I hate to admit this, even if I think that Roblox is failing in every conceivable sense of the word when it comes to realistic or effective moderation of dangerous users, they don't really have a choice right now for the cease and desist. After the initial letter was sent, probably because of the backlash, they issued a substantial update, providing much more detail on why they took this particular action, And in that update, we start to understand that the type of vigilante content that was taking place is wildly dangerous for everyone involved. On the most basic fundamental level, okay, normal players banding together all over to try and weed out predators feels like a really good thing. And it is. But let me pitch you a scenario. What happens when these people start attempting to physically meet, which they routinely do? What happens when they go somewhere thinking that they're about to get millions of YouTube views and confront a predator and get all the clout, and the person that they're meeting is armed and unstable? What happens at any point in the process when material is transmitted between parties which violates federal law by mere possession, which is something that absolutely takes place and is even a go-to tactic by the worst predators out there to begin insulating themselves? Most of you watching this have no way to know this, but after a couple of the more hard-hitting videos that I did on these types of subjects a few years ago, I had a couple phone calls with the FBI, someone working with the ICAC task force, and learned a whole lot more about just how dangerous all of this is. For the people on social media catching predators, right? That content goes viral. It gets millions upon millions of views and all the accolades and financial motivation in tow. But for the actual content creators doing it, it is dangerous. For the companies that own the platforms where it happens, in this case, it's Roblox, it is a massive liability. And if we're thinking about the entire situation rationally, there really is no other way that this was going to go down. A multi-billion-dollar company cannot allow regular everyday people to impersonate children and then physically meet predators in the world using their platform as the communication base for that. Listen to me when I say this right now, okay? One of these YouTubers that's going viral for doing this type of stuff, they're gonna wind up dead one of these days, okay? It will happen. And the platform where that took place, they can't afford to be liable, which means they must get rid of it, as in the multi-million view YouTube channels openly talking about it online and bragging. As soon as they become aware, they're gone.
Suffice to say that we might have a good dose of reality here. Because that is a very, very difficult pill to swallow. And I kind of hate to say this, at the end of the day, he's right. One of these days, one of these vigilante groups is going to end up dead. Because of their actions.
Okay, let's start from the beginning here. Number one, that's the risk they take. Number two, if Roblox was actually paying attention to their shit, we wouldn't have this problem.
And we wouldn't have.
They're a major corporation. It's not like they can't. They have a shit ton of people already doing moderation or supposedly doing moderation. There's no reason they can't keep up. They can't try and keep up with the idiots.
They have only automated moderation. It's, at least as far as I can tell.
Well, no, I fully expect that there are people that watch the automation at very minimum.
Yeah, like three of them.
But if you
An
have
entire Home Depot staff.
If you have a terms of service, you are obligated to enforce it. Especially when it comes to illegal activities.
Well, yeah, and that's why they're being sued. That's why they're facing multiple negligence lawsuits.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
He also brings up a point later in the video. If one of these social media platforms has to fall for the rest of them to be saved, then
Roblox might be a good start.
Yes.
Me personally, I'm thinking I would prefer Fakebook, whatever you want to call it today.
Yeah.
But that's just me being a pain in the ass.
Of course.
I'm more inclined to shredding Roblox because Facebook started with scamming college students. It's like those are people who are old enough that should know better. But
Yeah.
Roblox has been scamming children for several decades, and I'm definitely going to call wood chipper on that one.
Well, you know, the whole V-Bucks thing,
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck it's called. I think V-Bucks are fucking Fortnite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
V-Bucks and Fortnite.
And there's a shit ton of kids play that too.
Yeah.
But those Roblox coins, yeah, no, it's way too easy to bypass parents doing that. And I know of it. I know of a few stories in which a kid has absolutely not only wiped out their accounts, but somehow managed to travel. Somehow managed to pull off squirreling out their savings too.
Wow.
One kid I know of that spent almost $250,000.
All right.
Don't ask me for details because I don't remember those. But
Yeah.
still,
Now, my nieces and nephews play Roblox.
my kids wanted to play Roblox, and I told them no.
If I had any input in that decision to allow my nieces and nephews to play Roblox, I would have told them no.
Of course you would. That's what they call being responsible.
But I think the reason why we're hammering down this story so hard, it's because we all have relatives somewhere somehow playing Roblox to this day, and we're concerned about their safety. That's why we're doing this today.
And here is the thing: if there are kids listening to that, to my foul mouth bullshit, don't go off platform. Just don't
Never
do it.
go off platform.
Yeah.
If someone wants you to go off platform, take a note of the name hanging above their heads, take it to your parents, and give it to them. They start talking about shit that is, well,
Inappropriate.
levels of stranger danger that you've been taught. Same shit, different, and in the same day.
Yes.
That shit is crap, and that crap is shit. Don't do it. Do not, under any circumstances, engage these people. If they want to know how old you are, take their name
Don't
down,
tell them.
take their name down, get hold of your parents, give them the name, and say, this guy wants to know how old I am.
Mhm.
And if the first question out of their mouth is, did you tell them? Then, yeah.
I got to admit that, starting the conversation in that way just brought me back to AOL chat rooms. Because that was also the first question back then. Age, sex, location.
ASL, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of hard to tell sometimes.
What's ultimately disgusting about this situation, Schlep aside, it's that it's not like these predators are in the game doing weird shit to children. It's how blatant they are in doing this.
It's how negligent Roblox is in regards to the child's safety. It's
That too.
they have some measures, But then they just stopped at some measures. It's like child safety is only so important for them.
Oh, and kids, if your parents aren't interested for whatever reason, talk to your teachers.
They
No,
are
really,
mandatory.
do
They
that.
are mandatory reporters under federal law.
The same thing goes for the school nurse or your doctor or whatever. Just make sure you have the names on that you have names
Yes.
in a list.
And the reason why they're on that list. Because that is evidence.
And if you're smart, you will also note down the game and time.
Yep.
The name, date, and time. Because then somebody can go to Roblox and go, hello, McFly. What the hell is this shit? Why were you doing that?
Yeah.
And then after Roblox doesn't respond, you might be entitled to some of their money.
Maybe a lot of it.
Yeah.
Now I had this discussion on X the other day to ultimately wrap up the main points that I want to hit during this live stream today. Roblox might claim that they're protected under Section 230.
Well, it depends on where Roblox is and where they were sued. If they were sued in California, chances are they're going to pull that off. They're going to make it happen.
Speaking of
Section
which,
230 applies only so much. It's like Section 230 presumes that the platform users are aware of what's going on. When you're dealing with children, there very much is the legal argument that they are not fully aware.
Well, there's nothing in the text of 230 that says that.
Yeah.
But the way decisions have been made in recent years, since the advent of Section 230,
Yeah.
It's been blown wide open and expanded to the point where they're it's just it just confers immunity.
yes.
Oh.
But
And
unfortunately,
that's the problem.
yeah. Speaking of which, we have a guest this week. Say hello to Mr. FCat.
Welcome, FCat.
No, Cat, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a minute.
Getting on. What's going on?
Just things, I think,
And stuff.
and some things, and more stuff, and stuff and things. Yeah.
And some whatnot, too.
Ooh, whatnots. We like whatnots.
Welcome back to the channel, Mr. FCat. We're just having a conversation about a different perspective on the Roblox situation.
The Roblox situation, in my opinion, is the same as it was before. Absolutely fracking terrible, and anybody that would support that needs their head examined.
Right. And yeah, go ahead.
From what I saw and heard everything, I don't know. I was a little skeptical. I was like, wait, hold on, because like all these streamers were showing these stuff that were on the PC version, right? They were going into PC servers, or
They're going into various games for children tend to hang out. Generally speaking, the really, really, really popular ones, and they're asking for ages and trying to get them into role play of a not great variety, especially for kids.
So these were servers in the actual game. Like it didn't matter like what platform you were on. You saw.
If you want to put it that way, yes.
Okay.
Uh,
I thought these were like random like easy servers that you find.
Could be honestly, it could be any game or any server, but you go to the one where the ones that are where you see a lot of people and popularity. Just don't tell them how old you are for a start. Don't even try it.
yeah, it's yeah. Go ahead.
I kind of get Roblox's side of the sweat situation because somebody acting as a vigilante on your game to like legally come back to you in LA, even though it sounds fucked up, but it people can sue for anything, nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So they're just kind of like protecting themselves from that.
yeah,
As far as the immediate situation, yes, Roblox is doing that was the best decision they can make.
That's what they'll tell us.
Yeah, no, it's like
In reality, they have a terms of service that can be violated, and
No,
therefore they and as I believe it's a matter of law, they have to enforce that.
Yeah.
no, but it's in the large picture, of course, they're doing it way off and possibly even negligent criminally, but in the immediate small picture of the ban itself, there is a case to be made for this exact point in time.
Well, again, he wouldn't have needed to do that shit unless he wouldn't have needed to do any of that unless if Roblox had actually been enforcing their terms of service.
Yeah.
Also, he was telling them to victims or whatever to message him off of Roblox, but they have no idea what kind of conversations were going on after that.
Now
Yeah.
about that.
Well, to quickly prevent anyone pointing any fingers at upper echelon, he does explain that Schlep did go through the proper channels, and this is more or less a result of escalation. He arrived
Yeah.
at this point. He didn't start at this point.
Yeah, nothing against what he did. And I totally understand the cops were on board and he helped out the cops, whatever. But in all actuality, like, as a corporation, like, knowing you can get sued for anything that could, like, somebody acting as a vigilante in your game, like, can come back to haunt you.
Now there is a massive difference between a vigilante and a reporter.
Right.
And this guy was reporting and getting nowhere. Nowhere.
Yeah.
So he reported to the cops. It was the cops that acted on the information.
Okay.
That doesn't make Schlep a vigilante.
No, it does not, because he's not the one going out there in person to bust these guys.
Right. He is a white hat. He is a white hat narc, essentially.
Yep, pretty much. Not that I think narcs necessarily come in black hat varieties, but yeah, no, He's working to spare critters rather than them just kind of getting hurt.
Most stitches deserve stitches.
Now, lately I saw, the stock is going back up after the Louisiana lawsuit. They have been changing things. We don't know to what degree though. I think they could still have that kind of stuff on the game and or at least people don't know about. Also, Roblox has more players than Steam does right now.
That is very hard to pull off, though, to be honest. That said, we covered a little bit of that last week. Let me pull it up.
Yeah, another thing to keep in mind, or another tidbit from Upper Echelon's video, which, yeah, it's like with everyone else here, I do recommend watching in full. Upper Echelon does mention that Roblox's money and consumer base have gone up, but their safety spending has stagnated. And that is definitely a problem.
Yes.
All the way around.
Yeah, you would have expected that the safety budget would have gone up with the rest of it, but no.
Yeah, if anyone is curious why I stick to child safety so strongly and determinedly, there is only one category of sin for which Jesus himself prescribed cement shoes.
Yeah. I have children. That's no good.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why my kids don't have much in terms of multiplayer games. Single player or die. Some of them have multiplayer components, and that's fine. But
yeah, but they're not allowed to touch the multiplayer. I take it.
Well, no, it is that they need to be supervised while it's happening.
Right.
I recommend playing Broforce with them.
What?
I recommend playing Broforce with them. That's a couch co-op game.
My first experience with Roblox, my kid, they paid for a bunch of stuff on Roblox without their parents' permission, and it was pretty hard to get all that refunded back. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's both, like, pedophile ring stuff going on, and people and kids, like, designing their avatars sexually, I guess.
Yeah, it's... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like the children emptying their parents' bank accounts problem or situation does sound like a separate problem, which deals with their egregiously negligent approach to dealing with children, which is I can't help but suspect there needs to be some pathway of communication with the parents in regards to the parents' money.
Yes. Because at this point, there's not. But the
Yeah,
people that, but the again, the predators running around there, I seem to have significant amounts of money, and therefore, does Roblox necessarily want to cut a good chunk of their income out? I think not.
no, they lose that $250,000 payout from the kid.
No. The kids need mommy and daddy's credit cards.
Yeah.
Well, the predators, for the most part, they have them.
Yeah, the sophisticated predators, it's like those are the actually dangerous ones.
Yes.
A lot of child predators actually are not physically capable per se, because they are targeting soft targets. So the likely that they would strangle an attacker is extremely low. But the more sophisticated ones, those guys likely would have some sort of hired help.
Right.
It's like it's like extremely few of them would be Brock Lesnar.
Oh, wow.
Ouch.
Yeah. Most of them would be closer to the body proportions of like Timothy Chalamet.
Suppose that's true.
More waifish. Yeah, it's like I saw that on actually that first caught my attention on To Catch a Predator, where it's like he's getting Chris Hansen tells him he needs to go to jail, and then he walks out the door, and Lawrence Taylor jumps out of the bushes and tackles him 5 yards across the lawn, and I'm like, no, it's like these aren't the most violent, capable people. You could just point your finger at them and say stop, or I'll yell bang, and they'll cower.
Yeah, it's almost like they're in a weird situation. And I'm not talking about the Predators, I'm not talking about Schlep, I'm talking about Roblox itself. They were caught in between a rock and a hard place. Literally.
That's
And
not my
rather-
problem. That's theirs. They haven't. If they can't patrol their own shit, they shouldn't have that shit.
Yeah, the problem is they put themselves between this rock and hard place.
Yes, because once again, they have a terms of service and they're not enforcing it. Or if they are, well, okay, yes, they are, except that they're doing so
Selectively.
Yeah, selectively.
Yes. That was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, and if Schlep...
When they added dating to the game, that's when everything started getting weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's millions of kids. Things get weird and lol random really quickly, regardless.
I think this will be a good time to wrap things up. So ultimately, at the end of the day, let me bring myself to the front and center here. Ultimately, at the end of the day, there is there is proper channels for Schlep to have gone through,
And he tried that.
and he tried that, and it didn't work. But the problem with Roblox's situation is they could have easily fixed it themselves
In advance.
in advance.
Well, they could have expensively fixed it themselves.
Right. And as Upper Echelon later suggested in the video, they could have made it anywhere under the age of 17 would have had generic responses to things. 18 and over, fair game. But rather than implement a good solution with vigor now, or rather than, they chose to wait for a perfect solution 10 minutes later. In the words of George Patton.
Again, in that 10 minutes, how many children are going to get victimized? And yeah, I know.
Well,
Won't somebody please think of the children?
it's more
I
like
know
5
there are
years.
some people that would scream that, and you know what? Those people are wrong. Well, in this case, those people are wrong because we know that there are people that are preying on these children. It's not like it's not like your average video game where somebody's going to go and say, "Oh, that's incredibly violent. Our kids are going to turn into violent little bastards." Won't somebody please think of the children? Completely different beast.
Right.
People are actually being harmed. Actively.
Yeah, it's in this case, it's won't Roblox please think of the children like every once in a while, please.
Yep, you're right. It's
Of course, they have to think about the money.
of course
Yeah.
they have to think about the money. Well, anyway, I'd like to thank FCAT for joining us on the stream today.
Thank you, FCAT.
About some late.
Yeah, and while everybody else thinks of the next controversy, I have been Sanji Himura. Thank you for watching, and beware, the tax man cometh.